This week on NintenDomain, that's why you're still a kid.
I finally put on the right clothes.
Go styling. To NintenDomain, episode 62. We're your hosts. I'm Trey, Puyo Tetris Fever Johnson.
No, I'm Jereme, Orange Dude Mikowski.
Orange Dude?
Yeah, I'm an Orange Dude.
I was trying to make some joke about that, like, aren't you glad I didn't say banana? Do you have an orange suit? Did you dye yourself in
I'm like all
Zelda?
Orange right now. It looks kind of stupid.
I made I only dyed it once, but I made the outfit white. I made him like the white Link.
Link.
I thought it looked pretty cool.
White Power Link.
I basically, well, no. Yeah, I got him a hood. I made it white. You know, I always figured that he was a hater. No. No, I dyed my climbing suit. I dyed it white.
Oh, so you blend in with the snow while you climb?
Yeah, they can't find me. They can never shoot me.
Yeah, I don't know if it... I was wondering if the color of your clothing affected its stealth capabilities.
I don't think it does, but I don't know.
I don't either.
It might. I mean, I guess I should probably dye the stuff that I have to wear in the snow white. It'll help it out.
Yeah, I had totally forgotten about that part where you can dye your clothes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just found it. I found it later.
And I just randomly happened across it again. I'm like, oh shit, I can do this now because I have money. I didn't have money the first time. I don't think I had even found any rupees yet.
Oh, sure.
Now I'm fucking rolling in rupees.
Have you found the bowling game yet?
No.
Apparently the bowling game, you can like amass a lot of money really quickly with that if you find it.
Oh, cool.
There's a game where you take a ball and you carry the ball and you drop it down a hill and there's some pins. And if you get a strike, you get 300 rupees. Then you can just kind of do this over and over again until you have like thousands of rupees.
Oh, wow.
Because there's no end to it. It costs like $20 and then you make 300 rupees and you just keep doing that and you can amass a lot of rupees.
I've basically been doing that exact thing, but with the game where you have to glide as far as you can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I played that one, but I haven't gotten that much. Like I think the most he gave me was like 50 rupees.
Basically, it's mind-numbing because I found the furthest I can get, so I just keep doing that same path. Over again.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like how the bowling one is, I guess. You just figure out a way to get a strike every time and just do that every time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I played it for probably about 30 minutes yesterday, and that just seemed like forever. Just doing the same thing over and over again to amass money.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and I did it some last week, too, because I wanted to get my house and all that stuff.
So you have your house now?
Yeah, I got the house, and I did all the upgrades on it.
All right. Well, look at you. I still don't have a house yet. But aside from Zelda stuff, and we'll talk about Zelda a little bit more later. But yeah, this is NintenDomain, your place for Nintendo news and Switch news and all that stuff. And there was a couple news things that happened this week. Did you see that Nintendo went out and said that there was a manufacturing problem on their Joy-Cons, and that's why they were getting fucked up?
Yeah, what do they call it? A manufacturing variation or something like that?
Yeah, they said just a variation. So they came out and said that was why people's Joy-Cons weren't working. I haven't had any trouble with mine. Did you ever have trouble with yours?
Yeah, there was one day where I was having a lot of trouble with it, but I've gone back on after, like, it only happened that one time, and I'm almost positive the batteries might have been getting low.
Oh, yeah, well...
But
it takes a long time for those to get low, though.
Switch docked inside of a cabinet, so it might have affected the signal also.
Oh, okay.
But that was the only time that ever gave me any trouble. I'll say it's kind of annoying, but my left Joy-Con doesn't lock securely into the controller anymore.
I've heard people talking about that too. Like it won't, like it doesn't
just
click.
Like pop out, and it's really annoying sometimes, but. For the most part, it's not like, it's not a game breaker. It's just annoying because it like kind of slides up a little bit. You got to push it back down.
But it doesn't click. Like it doesn't click.
It clicks, but it doesn't stay in place. Like you don't have to touch. You don't have to depress the button to pull it back out again. It just like will slide out if you push it from the wrong direction.
Is like the latch broken then, or what? Like,
Something like that.
I'm sure you've taken a look at it, right?
No, I actually haven't. It just started being an issue today, and I had noticed it happening for a while, and then I was like, wait a minute. Like, it was one of those things that I just got used to, and it kind of like wasn't even paying attention to. I would just push it back down, But then I finally noticed, hey, wait a minute. This just slides out. That's why that keeps happening.
Oh, I could see it become annoying when you're trying to run. Every time you push
it
up on
doesn't
the
do
stick,
it when it's docked on the
comes
Switch.
out.
So I think it's the actual, just the hand grip.
Yeah.
Something's fucked up on that.
That's a shame, though.
That rail or whatever. But it's not, like I said, it's not game breaking. It's just a minor annoyance.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've played this a lot, and I very actively switch my control methods out all the time.
Yeah, you've switched your Switch more than I have.
I switch it all the time, man.
Yeah.
I take full advantage of playing it in bed, and I don't really take it to the bathroom, even though that's what everyone says they do. Cause
I did a couple times. It's heavy. You know, it's a weird.
It's also just like you don't want to get too
awkward
invested
system. Yeah.
in a console game while you're in the bathroom.
Well, I haven't played anything like Zelda while I'm on the toilet, even though I probably could, because I could get range from the Wii U. But I mean, I brought news we haven't talked about yet. I got Puyo Tetris like right after we finished recording last week, so that's pretty awesome. I got that Saturday right after we recorded, and
that's nice.
I've been playing that
Saturday, like right at the cutoff.
Yeah, right at the cutoff for what?
Well, you would have had to wait 2 more days.
Yeah. I honestly didn't think I was going to get it on Saturday because I went to work at like 1:00 and I hadn't gotten it yet, so I didn't think it was coming. And then I got a text from my roommate. It was like, "Oh, Puyo Tetris is here!" Like, yay!
Oh, cool.
I get to lick it, but I didn't lick it.
Your roommate knew it was Puyo?
Yeah, because it said Play Asia on the package,
cool.
and I told him that it was coming. But yeah, it's great. Like I've been playing the single player mode, and there's a lot of cool variations on there. And right out front, like on the first menu, like when you start the game, you can jump right into like Endless Tetris, and you can jump right into Puyo Puyo, like right on the front there. There's also a game in the middle that's a mixture of both that uses the Puyo drops and the Tetris blocks. So that's kind of interesting.
Cool.
But yeah, I've been trying to play the regular game. It gets kind of hard. Like the only thing is, you know, since it's in a different language, there's no English stuff on it. I mean, there's some English things, but sometimes I don't really necessarily know what to do in the level because there's a bunch of different level sets. Like there's like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, you know, and so on, all the way up to like 1-10, and then it starts on 2-1 or whatever. But each one is a different mission, or like asks you to do a different thing. But I can't read what it's asking me to do, so I have to just kind of figure it out. But I feel like I've been doing all right with it, pretty much, you know, for not knowing the language. But it's for a puzzle game, you can kind of figure out what they want you to do because there's some of them have like a countdown or like a line countdown, and it'll say line whatever, you know, so you can figure that out. But yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of different variations. There's these cool like puzzle modes, sort of. It's like a head-to-head thing where like, well, you'll get like, you know, your blocks will be like almost all the way up on Tetris, and they'll let you only use one specific Tetris block, like for each thing. And you basically have to clear it out as quickly as you can. It's like a 2-player thing. And, you both have life bars, and like and depending on how quickly you clear all the levels, it's like you'll attack the other person, like if you did it quicker or something like that. But it's really fun. And
that does sound fun.
And there's a Puyo one like that too, but I'm not as good as that one because you have to figure out how to like chain everything to do full combos, and I'm not as quick with it. I'm not really, like I said before, I'm not really that good at Puyo, so I've just been randomly stacking tiles like on one side and then just trying to create combos from there instead of like, you know, instead of actually thinking where to put the combos in for it. And that seems to work a lot better for me, to just like completely randomly stack stuff without even looking at it, and then, you know, try to build combos out of it later. It works for the most part, but sometimes you accidentally kill yourself if you're not careful. But
yeah, I saw stack it too high.
Well, I saw the computer doing that where they'll build up like half of the screen, they'll just build it up, and then they'll start breaking stuff down at the bottom in hopes that everything kind of falls into place.
Yeah, I kind of noticed the computer like piles them up on the sides.
Yeah, they do.
And I was like, that seems kind of stupid, but that's just what it does.
It's actually what you have to do, because there are like some levels that I couldn't beat, so I just like did that. I just made a pile on the side, and just tried to find combos out of that, and then it ended up working. But I couldn't beat it without it, you know? Like if I just tried to, because otherwise I try to play it like Tetris, and I'm just like keep doing the 4, and I'm not getting any combos built up, you know? So it's better to just randomly stack them and just work from there. I guess it kind of reminds me a little bit of like playing Tetris Attack, like that sort of thing. You know, where everything's already in there and you have to find the combos inside of it.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that sort of play. But yeah, it's totally worth it. Like if you don't want to wait for the game to come out at the end of April, order it now. It's good. You know, I found a website, Puyo Nexus, where a guy translated the whole thing. It like shows the menus, like writes English over like all the Japanese things that are there. And there's like a chart that's like, you know, it's like story mode 1, and then you go to 1, and then it shows all the stuff under story mode, and it tells you like how to change all the options and like all this stuff. So if you want to like take off like the quick drop, or like you want to take the ghosting off, or take the hold off or whatever, like it's fully customizable. You can make your Tetris blocks look different. You can make your Puyo drops look different. So yeah, there's online play also. that's crazy. It's like the only game out that has online play as of right now, I think. I mean, the Neo Geo stuff has leaderboards, but that's about it. So it's pretty rad. I haven't hopped online yet, but I found where the online stuff was. But I haven't tried, I guess I wasn't trusting in my own skill enough to hop online and try to play other people. But, I'm having fun just playing the computer and the story mode stuff. I obviously can't read the story, but all the different modes are cool. So it's been a lot of fun. So I've been playing that more than I've been playing Zelda this week. So I don't think I've progressed as much as you have, I'm sure, since we talked last.
Well, you were ahead of me last week, so maybe I've just caught up because I haven't done much myself. I mean, I've played a lot, but mostly I've been just amassing more shrines.
Yeah. Well, I felt like I was ahead of you, like just because I'd done another dungeon, but I felt like you had seen a lot more than I had.
Yeah.
But I found the monster guy. I didn't get to trade anything with him, but I found him.
Yep, he's cool.
And I found some more shrines, and I got all the towers, so I have the map full now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I got that far, but I haven't gotten to the third shrine or the third temple or dungeon or anything like that yet.
Neither have I.
But I was on my way there, I guess. I found the Gerudo town, but I couldn't figure out how to get in there. But yeah, aside from that, I've got a tangent of new game news there. They just announced the Seiken Densetsu 1, 2, and 3, like a Seiken Densetsu collection for Switch, which is pretty awesome. That's the Secret of Mana series, which we talked about before. Same guy who made Mystic Quest. The original Final Fantasy Legend Game Boy straight up is on there. That's Deiken Sensetsu 1, and Sensetsu 2 is the Secret of Mana on Super Nintendo, and 3 is one that was released for Super Famicom in Japan, but it never came out here. So everybody's kind of pumped and hoping that it comes stateside. As of right now, it's coming out in Japan for sure, and of course you can buy it, but everybody over here wants a translated version of it. So that's pretty exciting. It's like some support from Square there, so it's a cool thing to be excited about. Apparently there's a bunch of different ways to view, I know the Game Boy one, they have a bunch of different view options and filters and stuff like that on there, so there's a lot of extra shit, which is cool. But yeah, I would play the shit out of that, especially like Secret of Mana is such a fun like multiplayer game, like the first one is. And if you had like a Pro Controller or like another Joy-Con, you could play 3-player without a 3-player thing. I bought it for Virtual Console on Wii, and you could play 3-player on that, which I thought was pretty awesome. So I remember we never played 3-player, but I played with a friend of mine in high school. Like I helped him beat the game because I remember he needed a second person for it, so we played 2-player on that. But yeah, it's a cool game, and it'd be nice. It'd be another cool 2-player thing to have, for the Switch.
Or even 3-player.
Yeah, or 3-player even if you have another Joy-Con or Pro Controller.
Let's say you're going on an airplane with 2 of your buddies.
Yeah, you could play some Secret of Mana.
You just pull down your tray table in the middle, and play 3-player while you're on the plane.
Yeah, as long as everybody can see it well enough.
Right, as long as everybody got
pretty tiny
to where they're sitting close to each other.
Yeah. Apparently some of those planes have like little holders, like little iPad holders or something you could stick your Switch in. So,
nice.
made for you watching TV or whatever on the Netflix. But yeah, that was a really cool announcement for Switch stuff. No announcement of it coming here yet, but we can only hope. Have you seen, I was going to ask you, have you seen anything about the Yooka-Laylee release date for Switch?
No.
Because I know the PS4 one's supposed to come out like on the 11th or something. Like it's fairly early. So
I thought I remember reading it. Maybe it wasn't going to be simultaneous.
Yeah, that's what I was searching all over trying to find any sort of info on that, and I haven't seen anything about a Switch date, which I was really hoping that they'd come out on the same day, because it seems like it's right around the corner, and I'm like, getting excited for it.
Yeah, it just says, this article just says 2017, but it's coming out for the other PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One on April 11th.
Yeah, I was just hoping that it would come out at the same time. That's that. I know there's not a physical release, but that's fine with me. Not really huge into the. I like physical releases for certain things, but I don't need one for everything, especially for something that's so portable as the Switch. Like, it'd be nice, just download everything.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about that myself, because the last 2 Nintendo consoles I've had, I've downloaded most of my software, and I regret it now. I'd like to have like physical copies of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel that way about a lot of my games.
I mean, because I downloaded probably 80% of the stuff I have on 3DS. I downloaded, but
Same here.
But I didn't feel regret about that. I mean,
I did the same thing with the Wii U until I think Star Fox was the first game that I got back into buying a physical copy.
Oh yeah, I bought a physical copy of Star Fox because I don't remember why I did that.
And then I got a physical copy of Twilight Princess because it came with the amiibo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually, for the Wii U, I didn't download a whole lot of stuff. Unless it was something that was on sale on the eShop, then I downloaded it digitally. But most of the stuff I got, I bought in disc form, just because I saved hard drive space or something like that. A lot of them seem like they'd be like limited release, and they might be worth something.
We don't know if that's the way any Switch games are going to be. Not yet.
Well, I did it for ones that were like Japanese role-playing stuff, because I know those games are always end up like selling for a pretty penny later.
Yeah.
Like those Final Fantasies you can still sell for like $70 or whatever, even just the cartridge, at least. So,
I know. It's sad. I want all my games back.
Yeah. But once I got just the 3DS, I kind of wish that I had some of my digital stuff, like if I had them physical, so I could trade them, so it'd be like, here, try this game. But it's still nice to have them on the system. And it's a lot quicker. I like it because it's a lot quicker. I could just buy it the night before. But speaking of the night before, something I completely forgot to mention last week, but the global test fire starts tomorrow for Splatoon 2.
Sure does.
There's a bunch of really weird times. I think I'm only going to be able to play like the afternoon one tomorrow and probably just the early one on Sunday, because I work all day on Saturday, and that's when they have the most of them. It starts at 2 Central Time, and it goes from 2 to 3 Central Time tomorrow. By the time we post this, it'll have already happened. But yeah, it's like 2 to 3 and 10 to 11, I think. And then I think Saturday is like 6 to 7 and 2 to 3 and 10 to 11, I guess, again, and then Monday, and then Friday's like 6 to 7. So if I stay up till 6 a.m. tomorrow night, I'll play it again in the morning. Which actually,
that's the time that's the only time I'd be able to do.
Yeah.
Myself, because I work at 3, so I guess I could play from 2 to like 2:45.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to, you can just get on and play a couple matches or whatever. You don't have to play for the whole hour. But I'm hoping, I've heard things about the, Wi-Fi antenna being smaller than the Wii U. Have you heard about that?
Yes,
on the Switch, that like the internet's weaker. So we're gonna see how well it can handle online once the global test fire comes out. So
I finally saw
hope it works okay.
Some Switch stuff at the store, and one of the things was a LAN adapter.
Oh, so it's the
USB
same
LAN adapter.
Yeah, it's the same one for the Wii and the Wii U, I'm sure. Right? It's just the USB to Ethernet. Yeah. I actually have one of those for the Wii U. I bought one because my Wii U started being weird. Once for some reason in my apartment, like any system that's by the TV in the living room has a hard time getting a signal from the Wi-Fi. So I have like my PlayStation 4 and my Wii U are both hooked directly into the router. So,
okay.
Yeah, because it's hard for me to go online. Even though the Switch has been working fine so far, but I haven't really played online. I've just downloaded stuff on it.
Yeah.
Even though, well, we'll get to the eShop stuff in a bit, but today I was having a hard time starting the eShop. I actually had to full close my Switch and turn it back on before I could access the eShop, which is weird.
Oh, right. No, there's I saw on Reddit today people were complaining about the eShop.
Was that a thing? Yeah, I had to do a hard reset, which I just figured out myself. I was like, I'll just try it, because I never did. I've just been putting it to sleep mode every time, and just turning it back on. So I was like,
Same here.
I'll just try a hard reset, and I did that, and it worked fine.
Yeah, I don't know if I've actually turned off my Switch. Like, really turned it off.
Yeah, and it took me a minute to figure it out, actually. The way I did it, I didn't look it up. I just held the power button down, and then it gives you power options. So that's how I found out how to do it. But speaking of eShop, do you want to get into the releases for today?
Let's do it.
All right.
Dim releases.
So, eShop was updated today. It's been the first week in a while that there wasn't any Virtual Console stuff for the Wii U, so sad. There was still a bunch of stuff on there, just like weird, random, shovelware download stuff, but no Virtual Console. And the eShop for the Switch was kind of small too. But one particularly big release that came out is Disgaea 5 came out in Japan today. It's on the shop. And on our last episode, I said that it was already out. I was actually wrong. Sorry about that. It hadn't been released yet, but it's released now. And I looked at stuff online, and it is completely in English. If you get it imported, you can play the whole thing in English. You don't even have to go through the menus to change it. It'll automatically change it to whatever country your account is set on. So it'll go right to it. So I thought about getting that one because it doesn't come out until the end of May, which is awesome. So you get it like 3 months ahead and get to play. And it's like a $60 game. It's a full blown strategy RPG, and it looks really cool from the videos that I saw. But you can buy it.
Yeah, we played it a little bit at the Switch event, actually.
Yeah, we did, but it was hard to get into it at the Switch event, of course. But
it really was.
I'd like to actually sit down and give it some time. But speaking of strategy stuff, weirdly enough, Snake Pass and Has Been Heroes are both coming out on Tuesday of next week. Which I thought that was weird, because I actually thought that Has Been Heroes was going to come out today, because I thought I'd read it somewhere, but I guess not. But it's weird that it's a Tuesday release. Maybe because of, is it releasing on other systems on the same time, I guess, maybe? I don't know. I don't know.
Good question.
I don't know if either of those are because, regular systems other than Nintendo, their games release on Tuesdays, and, Nintendo just Fridays for whatever reason. So, I don't know. But, I saw those are around the corner. I was debating, whether I would get either of those. I don't know. I'm probably going to wait and see what the reviews are. But I did buy the Neo Geo Neo Turf Golf today. I bought that because I wanted to get something. And it's pretty good. I've been playing it off and on all day. I was trying to re-download some of the Wiiware games because we're going to talk about Wiiware games that we want to see on the Switch later as our topic. But I was trying to re-download some of my stuff because I realized stuff was missing and I didn't know it was missing. And while I was doing it, I was playing the golf game because it takes forever because the old internet system sucks. But
here's something interesting that just popped up in a feed that I was looking at. Apparently, Ubisoft has emailed some of its people that are fans or I don't know, people that are on their mailing list, whatever, and are asking them to come join an online discussion about what games they would like to be ported to the Switch.
Oh, okay.
It says it's 2 different conversations happening between April 5th through April 9th, and the second one is June 21st through the 25th.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, they sent out a mass email that was like, hey, tell me how many of you have Switches that are on our mailing list, just to get an idea of, who likes Ubisoft and who has the system. But that's interesting. Yeah, if they're asking people to, port stuff, then I don't know what they would...
that Bloodstained game is supposed to be coming out on the Switch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a
was announced today.
News thing that we forgot. Yeah, Bloodstained is supposed to come out on the Switch, for sure. What else came out today? Oh, one thing I forgot to talk about last week as well is Binding of Isaac. We talked about it briefly, that there was a physical copy of it, but we didn't talk about the actual game. And I know that you had bought the game before, right? You have it on 3DS,
Yeah, I
right?
talked about it on... I have it on the Wii U.
Okay. But
it's not Afterbirth. I think Afterbirth's like an expanded version of it.
Oh, okay. You just have the regular one. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about it because you've already played it. And they said supposedly people are playing the new version and there's a lot of cool stuff on it.
Yeah, people love it. It's a really hard game and kind of frustrating, to be honest. But people that really get into it and stick to it seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's like full-on Rogue, right? Where everything's randomly generated and when you die you don't get anything, right? You don't get to keep anything. You just kind of I don't know, the way things work a little bit better, but it doesn't you don't save anything in any way, right?
Yeah, you just accumulate knowledge as far as I can tell, how to fight certain enemies and stuff. You run into random bosses. Sometimes the boss is just crazy overpowered and you're just screwed.
Yeah, you just hit him.
What I remember.
You just hit him at the wrong time, right? Kind of like Breath of the Wild. that can happen too, when you're just in the wrong spot, wrong time, or right spot, wrong time, whatever. But yeah, I was that one came out on Friday last week. That's still available for digital. Was it $40 when you got it, or was it on sale? The Binding of Isaac.
I definitely didn't pay $40 for it. I got it for way cheap.
Yeah, I thought I thought it might have been on sale when you got it.
Yeah, it was $15.
Yeah, if it was $15, I'd be more into getting it. But $40 was a little bit high for me.
The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. So, what's the newest one called? Afterbirth?
Yeah, I guess it's sort of a Game of the Year version. It has all the DLC or whatever on there.
Okay.
And there's a 2-player mode also, which I don't think that was on the original one. Has a multiplayer now.
Okay, but yeah, it's like a Zelda or Goof Troop or something like that. It's a top-down action game. Each room's random, so it's kind of like a dungeon from the first Zelda.
Yeah.
Each room's random, and then, different bad guys, different treasures. You get a lot of random power-ups. You never really know what your power-up's going to be, but they have to do with your tears, because your tears are your projectile weapon.
Yeah, that's how you fight people, right? Because I know there's an electricity upgrade to that, or a thing that you can find where, you cry on people and then you shock them, the water conducts conducts the lightning through it.
Yeah, or he'll shoot fire or lasers out of his eyes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a game I never played, and if it was $15, I totally would have gotten it. But $40 was that's too much. I'll wait till it drops.
Yeah, it's that Switch tax.
Yeah, Switch tax, I guess, right? Because they did is that because
I guess
they
I
did
don't know. I guess I don't know if it's less on other consoles or not.
Well, it's the only one that has a physical release, right? I think. I don't think that that it was ever released physically for anything. So I know it was downloadable on the 3DS and the Wii U, and I'm sure it was PS4 or Xbox One as well. But I don't know. Because it was a game that was like new 3DS only. I remember that too.
Yeah.
One of the
Binding of Isaac Afterbirth is $15 on other things, it looks like.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's just crazy. Oh, I'm sure it'll drop, but I hope that doesn't like make them think less of Nintendo or whatever, that they're not selling as much. But why do you guys sell it for like $25 more? It's crazy.
I mean, remember, what was it? Oh, Minecraft was 40 instead of 30. It was 30 on everything else, but it was 40 on the Wii U.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So there's a Wii U tax too.
But they also got the Super Mario version, I guess, on there or whatever. You got the Super Mario version of Minecraft. I don't know. I know Minecraft Story Mode is up for like pre-sale on Amazon now on Switch, so that's cool.
Oh right, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's all of it.
Collection.
That's just Story Mode. It's not regular Minecraft, but still.
Right, I know, but yeah, it's all the episodes, right?
Telltale stuff, yeah. If they're all out by now, I don't know. I haven't played. I think the last Telltale thing I played was Game of Thrones. Yeah, the Neo Turf Masters came out for Neo Geo as a Neo Geo arcade thing, like same as the other ones. It's a full-on golf game. It plays very much like Mario Golf. Like it's cool. It's difficult because it's an arcade. It's an arcade game. It's basically like if you like get over par, you lose a credit. Like it's like 1 credit and you get like 3 rests, and you lose a rest every time you're over par, and you gain 1 if you're under par. Is basically the way it works. But I played through the USA Grand Canyon golf course, and I think I placed like 38th out of however many people. But it was my first time playing through. But yeah, it's difficult, but it's fun, so I don't think it's unfair. But it's very it's like fast motion, so like if you're not paying attention, it might actually accidentally go for you, and you'll end up shooting your shot really badly. But thankfully it has a pause button on it, so you can pause whenever you do it. Because I was trying to download stuff, and a couple times I messed up on that first one. But yeah, there's like different characters from different countries, and and as of right now, there's only 4 golf courses. I don't know if you can unlock stuff. I mean, it's an arcade game, but it looks.
So how do those arcade games work? Can you add credits as though you were putting quarters in, or?
Yeah, it's like free play. You just hit the top L button, and it adds credits, and you hit the top right button to hit start. So it's not like you can play it, keep playing it. I'm just saying that's the way it works. It'll take your rest away or give you a rest, but you can just buy them. You can just credit it up all you want and just play forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
But it looks nice. Like I think it looks real nice. I've been playing it with like no filter, and I stretch it out to fit the whole screen, but I don't think it looks like extra wide or anything like that. Like I don't really notice a difference in it. I think it looks really cool. I played some heated King of Fighters 98 with my roommate on Saturday last week, so that was fun. We got into that and did some 2-player Joy-Con fighting game stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. It's
you're good at playing with the Joy-Cons in the fighting games?
Well, I mean, I'm not as good as I would be with the with the control pad, but we still did it. We played some Puyo Tetris stuff too. But yeah, we tried it out. Jess and I played some Puyo Tetris as well. Did some multiplayer stuff. Played some more levels of Snipper Clips also. We do like 5 or 6 levels, and then play Zelda. But yeah, what else came out this week? The Othello or Go, the Japanese game. It's now it's now available for $5. I thought about getting that too, just for the hell of it. But yeah, $4.99. You can play Go on the go on your system.
So is it Othello and Go?
I think it says Othello, but I think it's the same thing, right? Like with the white and black checkers.
No, Go's different.
Oh, I thought they were the same.
Like in Othello, you play like within the squares, and then with Go, you play at the intersection of the lines.
Oh, okay.
On the board.
Yeah,
it's completely different because you have to create territories and all this other stuff.
Oh, okay. I wonder if Go is on there also, or if it's just called. I don't know. I haven't played it, but yeah, it's on there. You can do that. I know last week we talked about possibly getting that on the Japanese channel, but the Japanese eShop. But now you don't have to. Now you can get it on here. Some game called Frontier Games is on there. I haven't heard of that game, but that was released also. Kind of a lackluster week for the eShop on the Switch, unfortunately.
Yeah, for real.
But there's those two decent games on Tuesday. Oh, and also in the week after that, Lego City Undercover has a release date now. Did you see that? That's in the eShop.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they put it up there, and they're coming soon. It comes out on the Tuesday after next Tuesday. So it comes out on the 4th. So I guess they're starting to do a Tuesday release thing. Maybe that's the same day it's releasing for PS3 or PS4, because it's supposed to release for PS4 and Xbox One also. And maybe that's Tuesday. So I guess we'll get 2 eShop days now. We'll have Tuesday and Thursday, which is cool. Hope that means more games. But yeah, in a couple weeks you can play Lego City Undercover. It's
right. I still haven't purchased it on the. Man, I wonder what's going to cost.
Well,
they're not going to charge $20 for it, are they?
Yeah, you can get it for $20 on Wii U, but I doubt it'll be $20. Honestly, I have a bad feeling that it's going to release for like $60 or something stupid like that.
But this is Nintendo like hoping to sell these games to people that skipped the Wii U.
Yeah.
And that are just completely missed out on some of these games.
Oh, because like Mario Kart 8 is going to release for $60, right?
Right.
Yeah, even though you can probably buy that for the battle mode, but $60 isn't enough for just the battle mode for me.
And Splatoon characters.
Yeah. And a Splatoon battle mode level. Still not enough for me. I'll have to wait for a price drop on that. Even though I'm sure I'll totally miss the battle mode. Are you thinking about getting into it, Mario Kart 8 again? Double dipping on the Switch? Man,
I've thought long and hard about it because that's going to be a showcase for the 2-player on the go.
Yeah, I guess.
Being able to play 2-player Mario Kart with your friends anytime that you have your Switch with you. Yeah. It's pretty cool. But I would be buying it for the novelty. Because I already have already have it on the Wii U, and that's one of the first games. May have been the actual first game I downloaded, I think.
Yeah.
On my Wii U when I got it. So.
Well, you have 2 Zeldas also, so I thought you might just go for 2 Mario Kart 8s. now that you got all the dough, you got the money bags, all the money we make from the zero money we make from this podcast, we use it to buy.
Yeah, man. Games. Ever since we started this podcast, I've just been loaded.
Yeah, just been buying games left and right. You have like 5 versions of one game. You just bought all of them.
I do. Well, I started buying ones with different SKUs.
Yeah.
I want one from Walmart, one from Target.
I'm going crazy.
I need them all, man.
Just like all those amiibos that you have from different countries.
Yeah. I really like the one from Fiji.
Catchistan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on how excited I am to buy another game at that point in time. Because right now I'm still quite content only having the one game that I really play.
Yeah. Well, once you get tired, like if you get tired of Zelda, or if you want to play some more games on your Switch, you might end up doing it. But if Lego City Undercover isn't like super expensive, you should definitely check out that game.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I played through it all the way. Let me tell you, I bought it at the same time as Lego Batman 3, and Lego City Undercover is much better than Lego Batman 3. I'll tell you that much. That game kind of sucks, and I never finished it. It took away all the things that I loved from Lego Batman 2, which is such a bummer. It's like, hey man, we have this really cool open world system. Let's take it out in the sequel. Okay, that's done.
How was Amazing Spider-Man 2 on the Wii U?
I never played that one, but I played Amazing Spider-Man 1, and that game was cool.
I saw it at Walmart for like $5. They had a ton of them too.
Oh, I'd buy it for $5. I mean, I'd buy anything. I'd buy anything for $5. $5's pretty low, I buy a lot of things for $20, so I've bought things that I probably shouldn't have bought for $20, or stuff that I thought was cheap that isn't really cheap. Whatever, but $5, yeah, I'd totally buy that.
That and Epic Mickey 2. I've been seeing a lot of copies of that.
Oh yeah, get that for $5. I never played any of those, but people like the first one, I guess.
I don't know if those were $5. That one might have been like 10 or 20. I can't remember.
Yeah. Say Epic Mickey for $5. I mean, worth trying, right?
It was $5.
I mean, $5 is like a rental. That's how I feel. It's like back in the days when you could rent games. It's like $5, rent a game. Here, $5, you have a game now. If you don't like it, then whatever. You only spent $5. No big deal. I mean, I bought those Ubisoft games on Wii U for like $6 or $7, I think. Like when there was that crazy sale, and I hardly played any of those. Oh, except for Rayman. I played a lot of Rayman, but the other ones I didn't play as much. But I think that's all of the eShop stuff, right?
That's all I can think of.
Yeah. Do you want to take a break then and get into our topic of the week?
Sounds good, man.
Ever since World of Goo came out on the Switch, I've just been thinking about all the possibilities of other Wiiware games getting re-released. I kind of just booted up my Wii today, just kind of looked through some of the old Wiiware stuff that I like playing, and had to re-download some of them, but just kind of made a list of stuff that I hope to see on the new system, and I figured we could talk about that because I have a feeling with the Switch's popularity, there's probably some that we're going to see for sure on there. You know, depending on what it is. Like Cave Story, that was released on Wii and then 3DS, and I think it was released again on Wii U. I have a feeling that's probably going to come out on Switch also because it keeps getting re-released on every Nintendo system. I have a feeling. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that comes out to Switch too. But if it becomes like, you know, it becomes like as popular as the Wii, then I'm hoping that it would have like as many people on it, like, because it was really exciting that so many people were making WiiWare stuff, you know, for the Wii. At least for me, it was, you know.
Yeah, that was kind of more of the beginning days of that sort of thing, because I think Xbox did they call it Live Arcade.
Yeah, they had the Live Arcade
like
before that.
They started doing that around the same time.
Yeah, I think I did a little bit before, but I never had an Xbox. So WiiWare was like my first into way into like indie development and all that stuff. And a lot of the stuff that they did were like 2D side scrollers and you know, cool stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff I was interested in, you know, and it was kind of like Super Nintendo-y.
There's like a lot of interesting puzzle games too.
Yeah, it was like Super Nintendo-y type stuff, and yeah, it was kind of the games I wanted to play. And since I was like, you know, the Wii, I didn't get a PS3 until way later. The Wii was like my only system, so I played a lot of these games. You know, like for the in between game releases, you know, I bought a lot of the WiiWare stuff like when it came out, so kept me busy for a while.
Yeah, I actually missed a lot of the WiiWare. So the early days of it, I had a roommate that had a Wii, and I actually downloaded a few games back then on his Wii, but of course, once we no longer lived together,
they went with him. Yeah,
they went with him. And I didn't actually buy my Wii until a few years later. It was before Skyward Sword came out.
Oh, so
but it wasn't that long before. It was like a few months before that.
So you got it like on the end of the Wii, pretty much. Like you bought it like...
Yeah, I got it really cheap. Too.
The end of the hype.
I think it was $60 used with a game and 2 controllers.
Oh, sure.
So I got a really good deal on it, and I was pretty broke at the time, but I did end up downloading a couple games after the second time around I got the Wii. So I've messed around with the WiiWare a little bit. I just feel like there's a big gap in the middle there. Maybe when it kind of... Well, a lot of these games that were like classic games, like not reimagined, but you know, like the Castlevania ones and stuff like that.
Yeah, you didn't play that? Didn't play the
Right,
Castlevania
exactly. I kind of missed out on that. Or the new Mega Man games.
Oh yeah, those games, that's on my list for sure. Like Mega Man 9 especially was really good. I mean, both of them were good, but 9 was better, I think.
But I definitely saw Lost Winds, and I saw some of these other games that I'm sure we'll mention. Sure.
Oh yeah, something we forgot to mention earlier as news. Super Mario Run finally came out for Android.
Oh shit, yeah, we didn't mention that.
Did you get it?
I downloaded it, yeah, and I'm happy that I didn't ever really get into it on the iPhone, which, you know, a big reason for that is that it runs kind of slow.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say it runs slow, but the frame rate's really bad.
On the Android.
That's kind of how it compensates for it. Yeah, because it's an iPhone 4S. It's 6-year-old iPhone.
Oh, you mean it ran slow on the one that you played it on?
Yeah. It ran choppy is probably a better description.
Okay, because I was like, it didn't run slow for me when I played it on my phone.
No, but weren't playing on a 7-year-old or 6-year-old or whatever iPhone.
Yeah, I have it on 6, which is like 2 years old, but still it works.
It looks great on my nice Android phone.
Sure. Did you pay the $10 for it?
I've already played through the first 3 levels. I haven't bought the full copy yet. I plan on it though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really play it anymore, but I don't play much on my phone. So kind of Super Mario Run was the most that I played on there, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't like wasting the battery on my phone playing games. I usually don't do that.
Yeah. That's why I couldn't get into Pokemon Go. Wasted too much of my battery, so I only played it briefly.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, but aside from Super Mario Run, sorry, I forgot to say that earlier. Yeah, the WiiWare stuff. I'm hoping that some of the stuff that you missed out on will get another run on the Switch, which I wouldn't be surprised if some of these come back around.
I would be happy. There's a fairly long list.
I mean, seeing World of Goo on there again like gave me hope, and seeing like them, you know, emulating the pointer control makes me wonder, because a lot of these WiiWare games like do like the control point system where like you move with the analog and you point at the screen and you do something. Like Lost Winds does that, where you like use the air to like lift you know, with the pointer. A couple other games I put in there like Nick's Quest and Max and the Magic Marker, like the same sort of thing, where like you use the pointer to interact with stuff in the game, like in the background. Like in Nick's Quest,
it's almost like a mouse and
around.
keyboard, but represented as a pointer and a control pad.
It was a cool thing, and I like that you could do stuff like that. It was like a 2D, it was a side scroller, but it was more interactive. You know, you could mess around with the background. Especially like Max and the Magic Marker, you can like draw bridges and stuff like that with your, with the pointer, and it's like, it's like a marker that's on the screen that you can do stuff with. So that was really cool, and hopefully, with the new pointer emulation that they're doing, hopefully you can get that to kind of work. I mean, I don't think it's going to work as well, but I'd like to see them try. Some of the games, like some of the games like Mega Man 8 and 9, like that'd be really easy to port because it was all just like straight up 2-button thing. It was like just the Wiimote, just the digital pad and the 2 buttons. So you can already do that with the Joy-Cons, even though you won't have the benefit of having having the digital pad. You'll have to do the analog stick, but whatever, you make it work. But I think 9 and 10 would be a definite possibility of coming over. But what were a couple games that you played on there or that you had? I know you said Moto Heroes. I never actually played that game.
Well, that's my favorite one. So I'll just say, first, Lost Winds. I never played all the way through Lost Winds, but I played quite a bit of it, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I realized that I didn't. I had Lost Winds 2. I never got 1. I got the second one. I got the Winds of Winter, but I played through that one all the way and really enjoyed it. But I
do remember being daunted by how much it cost because this was the Wild West days of downloading full games on your system, like. All the virtual console stuff, at the most was $10.
It wasn't like 15 or something, or was it more than that? The Lost
Winds? It was 15 or 20, I think.
Yeah,
I do remember it just being like holy shit, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think I might have, if I remember correctly, I think I might have bought an eShop card to purchase it because I didn't feel like setting up an account, my bank account.
Oh, I was gonna say, were you afraid of putting your information online? Because I know people that still won't do that. Like my brother-in-law, he will not buy anything off the internet with his card. Like he's like super he's like, oh no, they'll steal my stuff, they'll steal all my money. I'm like, no, they won't.
So does he buy a prepaid card and use that?
He just doesn't buy anything online, like ever. Like he had a Wii and I was like trying to be like, hey dude, there's all this stuff you can buy, but like he wouldn't buy anything. That's why I thought about getting him an eShop card, but I didn't. And he has a PS4 and he doesn't buy anything on that either. I'm like, okay. Like I'm like, the PlayStation Network was hacked. I didn't get any of my information stolen from there. I'm sure a couple people did, but I didn't. It's pretty secure. I don't mind. Like I've heard people are making that excuse for the Switch eShop now, being like, oh, well, they shouldn't save your information because people can hack it. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, it's so dumb. Like the 3DS can save your information. This doesn't save your information.
They just need to release a thumbprint attachment. They use that to log into your bank account.
Oh, they could. I'm sure they could with whatever the stuff is on it. But
a future iteration of the Joy-Con will have a fingerprint reader.
It could. Well, yeah, just put it over the infrared thing on the bottom. Just put your thumb over that, and it'll read it.
Just put it on the control stick itself.
Just put your mouth under there and pretend that you're eating sandwiches, and that will mean that you want to pay for stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lost Winds, Lost Winds was actually an iPhone game for a minute. Like it was released as a cell phone game, like after Wiiware. And I thought
that's where it went afterwards.
Yeah, but it's actually not available anymore. Like I was looking for it, and they had to pull it from the App Store because of some sort of upgrade where it's not compatible with the new system that the iPhones use now. So it's not on there anymore. But it was at one point. It was released as an iPhone game. I remember that. But I feel like any of the games that maybe came out as cell phone games, those might have a better chance of making it to the Switch, I guess, because the Switch can pretty much be like a phone, like a World of Goo is proof of that, that you can play it without the Joy-Con on it, and it just plays just like the cell phone version of World of Goo would. So, they could easily do that. If they didn't want to do the emulation pointer, they could just put it on the system and have you play all touchscreen, for Lost Winds.
Yeah, put it on as the iPhone version.
Yeah, but I'm wondering. Let's see, I'm wondering for like people who made stuff like that if they'd want to like re-release it. Like I said, after watching World of Goo or after seeing World of Goo, I'm like, man, I wonder who else. Because if the Switch really takes off, and it seems like it is kind of taking off, like people are really getting into it. I mean, I'm sure people are going to try to recycle a lot of their WiiWare stuff Hopefully. I don't know. I don't think we'd see, some of the stuff on the list I don't think we'll see, but we might see Lost Winds. Like, I would think that might be one that would come back, because it was fairly popular on there, and I think there might be enough interest for them to go for it again. Or maybe even do a Lost Winds 3. That'd be cool. Do a new one for it. One of my favorites, and like one of the very first Telltale games I ever played was Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People. Like that, I sunk a lot of hours into that, like while didn't have anything else to play. And I feel like I really wish I could get a hold of this game for like some kind of budget price. You can buy it on Steam. It's on Steam now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should look into it. I'm sure it's cheap on that.
Shit.
Because I was
no idea.
I was trying to look at like the games that I made a list of like my five favorites of WiiWare, and then I went a little bit farther than that. But I was trying to figure out if they were available for other things. And apparently Strong Bad was released for PlayStation 3, like after WiiWare. But it says that you can get it on Steam also. Like it was released on Steam. So you should check, see if it's on there still.
That's a great idea. Because I was a huge fan of the website.
I know you were. That was like that's like the whole way I found out about Strong Bad was through you.
Yeah. It's like the pre-YouTube, because it was like, it was before even YouTube, like.
Yeah, it was just like little.
When all videos were Flash-based that you saw.
Yeah, like animated
stuff online.
It was like animated Flash videos. And that's kind of how the game is too. Like you can actually interact with the computer, and he'll do like jokes that he would there, like read his emails and like respond to people and stuff like that. That's integrated into the game.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. This is an entire like huge chunk of Strong Bad Homestar Runner stuff that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
So the appeal is strong.
It's really funny. I mean, I like to like.
I've played a demo. Like there is a demo of it that I played on the Wii.
Which one was it though? Because there were 5 different episodes, and they all kind of go into each other, but not as much as something like Walking Dead would, or like the new Batman, or like Game of Thrones. Like how those like where you can have different. They weren't as advanced, I guess, in their games at that point when that came out, but. I think they released one like every month for like 5 months or something like that. I feel like it was pretty steady, but I played through all of them and I bought all of them when they came out. Like you couldn't get a season pass back then, but I think they were all $10 each, and I paid for each one, and I probably put like 10 hours into each of the episodes. So I mean, I played a lot of it.
Does it end like, is it a full story, or does it end abruptly like they just stopped making them?
No, it's a full story. I mean, each episode is its own story pretty much. Like they don't, that's what I mean. Like they don't really go into each other. So it always
comes back to like the beginning point again.
Yeah, even though it's kind of like, there's kind of like a little bit of a cliffhanger in some of them. Like I think 4 and 5 go into each other, which 4 was my favorite one, which I played a little bit today again. But I think 4 and 5 like kind of like, the way 4 ends is the beginning of 5, like it kind of goes into the other one, like a cliffhanger like that. And I think 3 does too, but it's not, I don't think it was as much. They're still their own games, like they're still complete stories.
Oh, I can get the full set on Steam for $19.99.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I guess since the game is like almost 10 years old, like maybe it'd be cheaper, but I think it's worth it. If you like Strong Bad, like totally play it. I'd be interested to see what you think of it. We could do like a Strong Bad update or something on the show.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I mean, if you can tear yourself away from Zelda for long enough to to play it. I mean, I played WiiWare all day today, so I tore myself away from Zelda. It's not that hard.
I'm getting to where I like to. I'm spending less time with Zelda. I'll say that, but I'm still playing it at least a couple hours a day. Probably.
Yeah, it's just I play it for so long that it's like sometimes I don't want to commit to that long. I don't want to commit to playing it for like 5 hours. But yeah, no, the Strong Bad's a fun game. One thing I thought was really cool is each of the episodes has a little like has like an 8-bit type game that you can play in there. So each episode has like a different like NES. Atari style game that you could find in the game somewhere, and just play that for a while, like as a side thing, which is a nice little Easter egg that's on there. And you play those. Well, I don't know how you play it on PC, but on the Wii you would play it like with the controller sideways, like an NES controller. And they had some like kind of retro type games that were in there. When you get to the fifth episode is like 8-bit is enough, is what it's called. And there's like a Trogdor game that you can find, where you're just Trogdor and you go around just burning people, which is pretty awesome. And it's like, and it looks like a PlayStation 1 game, and I thought that was cool that they kind of did that old 3D graphic on it. And of course, like Strong Bad thinks it has the best graphics of all time. And, and it's just a funny like added thing for like the final episode. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, spoilers probably if you're gonna play it later, but
it's all right.
But my favorite one was Dangeresque 3. That's the one where he makes an action movie, and you're like watching, you're like watching the action movie and playing the action movie at the same time. So I thought that one was really fun, and it was my favorite. Even though 8-bit even though 8-bit is enough, is really good. I thought that 4 was better. But they're both really good. Those last 2 ones are really good.
Yeah, Dangeresque was there's an episode, a Strong Bad email episode about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it starts off with him answering an email that says like, oh hey, I finally completed Dangeresque 3, and all these people are raving about it, and then he like, oh, and it's the premiere, and then he like puts a cassette tape in, and then that's how the game starts. It starts with the beginning of the movie, and then you're playing out the movie. So I thought that was really cool.
That's pretty sweet.
So it's like you walking around with Homestar Runner and the other dude that I don't remember his name, the skinny guy and with the green.
Coach C.
Yeah, it's Coach C. Yeah, he's your other dude. And Marzipan's like the person that you're helping out. She has like some poison plants or something like that. But yeah, it's you get a kick out of it if you like the series. I don't think there's a good chance of that showing up on the Switch, just because I don't feel like maybe Telltale has moved on. But it would be really cool if they did. If it just came out of nowhere. Like I said, it's almost like a 10-year-old game, and I think they've moved on to bigger stuff now, and they don't really re-release a lot of their older stuff, you know. So I don't really see them like re-releasing it again. But that was a game that I spent a lot of time with, and basically kept me busy on my Wii. So it was a game that I have a lot of good memories for, and it'd be something I'd really like to see again in the future on the Switch. What else do you got?
I've got another one that I remember playing a little bit of. I don't think that I cracked out on it, so to speak, but Toki Tori, which I think has been released. It was originally a Game Boy Color game, I guess.
Yeah, it was. Toki Tori's on Wii U also. I bought a Toki Tori game on Wii U.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance
I bought the Toki Tori on the Wiiware service on my friend's Wii, the one that moved away, as I did with Lost Winds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, Toki Tori seems like one that you might be able to see on the Switch since it had sequels. I think Toki Tori 1 and 2 were both on Wii U, so there's a good possibility they'll bring it around. Maybe they have a good relationship with Nintendo and all that.
It's a cool little like action puzzle game.
Yeah, you're like a bird. You're like a big bird searching for eggs or something like that, isn't it?
Something to do with that. Yeah, you're a bird looking for eggs, or you're collecting eggs, or
yeah, but it's like a 2D. Yeah, it's like a 2D multi-level puzzle-y type thing. Right, I think it's like getting from one point to another. So it's like regular control. You wouldn't have to worry about like pointer or anything like that. So it's pretty easy to do. And I don't know when the last one was, but I feel like they're probably still working on those. I thought I had just heard something about Toki Tori on another thing. So I think they might be still releasing it or whatever. But yeah, that'd be a cool one to see, like going from one thing to another. One thing I found when I was going through the Wiiware stuff, just looking to re-download stuff. There's a Fast Racing Neo game on Wii. I didn't even know that.
Oh, really?
Well, it's called like Neo Fast Racing League. But yeah, that was the first one on there way back when. I was like, oh damn, I didn't even know that was on here. So there's already some WiiWare stuff that has made its way onto like the Wii U and the Switch now. So like I said, it's
at least as part of the same franchise.
Yeah, there's like Neo Fast Racing League, or Fast Racing, whatever it's called. But it's the same company. It's Shinin, and it's the same type of racing game and all that. It's just doesn't look as good. It's just the old Wii one. But I was like, oh man, that one must have slipped past me. I must have missed it. Or maybe they released it towards the end. Like some of those ones towards the end I didn't really get because I had gotten a PS3 by then. Kind of went past the Wii. Yeah. I think the last thing I played on there was Skyward. It was either Skyward or Donkey Kong. It might have been Donkey Kong. Because my Wii, no, it was Skyward. Because my Wii died while I was playing Donkey Kong Country Returns. And I got it fixed to play Skyward Sword. So I sent it in and had it fixed for $100.
Like, well, you had to get your Wii fixed a couple of times, didn't you?
Yeah, like 3 times. First 2 times were free, and the third time I had to pay for. Yeah, I sent it in.
It was to do with the Smash Brothers the first time, right?
Well, it stopped working when Smash Brothers came out. Yeah, that was the second time I think that it stopped working.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it had and like whenever they fixed it, they like gave it a new warranty. So when it broke again, I was able to do it again for free. But yeah, my Wii broke multiple times. I had to send it in. My PS3 broke also, and I had to send it in. The disk drive stopped working on it while I was playing Lego Batman 2. It broke in that game. So, and the Wii broke the third time on Donkey Kong Country Returns, which sucked because I really liked that game a lot. And it died while I was playing it. And I was like, oh, and then I sold it because I was like, I can't play it anymore because the disk drive completely broke. Yeah, same thing. PS3 did the same thing. But what else do I have? We talked a little about Mega Man 9. Like that was on my top 5. That was a cool. That was a great sequel to. I liked how they went back to the original NES style graphics for Mega Man, And
yeah,
I was like,
straight up looked like an NES game.
Yeah, I remember some people gave it shit because they wanted it to look like more like the Super Nintendo one or the PlayStation one. I was like, no, I like that they went back to. I remember the old trailer for it where it showed like Mega Man's progression and graphics, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then he like goes back to where he was in 6, and I'm like, that's awesome. But those games were really fun. Like I love those like pixel art stuff, and especially the first one. I thought the characters in it were really cool. And the second one, and then the 10th one was fine too. But 9 I felt like worked better. Like all the extra bosses were better and the power ups were better in the end. But yeah, those games were really fun. Or maybe they could make a Mega Man 11. Even though I think hasn't Mega Man been like MIA since Inafune left Capcom. I don't think they've been doing much with that. Because he did make Mighty Number 9, which was a whole thing.
Right.
Where I've actually played some of it. I don't know. I don't know if I don't understand it or I just don't really care for it, but it didn't seem to be very good.
It's gotten lukewarm reviews, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because Conan...
Bad to lukewarm.
Yeah, my roommate Conan, he kickstarted it. He paid for it, so he got a free copy of it. And we played around with it a little bit on PS4, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's not really I don't think it's what we were looking for. It was no Mega Man 9, like that's for sure. I don't know why they decided to like go like try to make it more modern graphics instead of just making some really cool bit art. Like that would have been a much more exciting game, I think, instead of what they're doing. But yeah, Capcom seems to have kind of abandoned Mega Man since Inafune left. So I don't know what's become of him. But if they decide to bring him back, let's make a fucking Mega Man 11 for the Switch. Be a great game. They'll probably sell it just like they did before. You can make it in HD and all that. It was a cool game. I liked how they had like speed runs and they put achievements on there, even though like the Wii didn't have achievements. They still had like a set of stuff you could do to try to get through stuff at a certain point. But they made it for like people who want to play through it over and over again and made it a lot of fun. I think there's like a boss rush and all that too in there. Did you get the chance to play either of those, Mega Man 9 or 10? On any of the systems?
I didn't get to play either of those. I think that I've seen you play them. I don't think I played them myself.
I probably showed them to you because I was really excited about 9 because I played a lot of 9. And 10 I never made all the way through just because I guess I lost interest in it halfway through. But 9 was great. Like I played a lot of that. Yeah, I thought because it was released on like 360 and PS3 and all that, and I figured maybe you played it in some form because they feel like they released it on everything it was available for. I think you can even get it on like 3DS in a way, or it was available on that from it. I feel like I'd seen something like that, but I might be wrong. But I thought I saw it on there. Did you get another one?
Yeah. Do you remember the Dr. Mario game?
Oh yeah, Dr. Mario Online. That was supposed to be really good. I didn't actually play it, but it was rated really well, and they said it was better than the Dr. Luigi game that came out on Wii U.
Yeah.
Did you play it?
We played this a lot because we had all our roommates and stuff.
Yeah, Tetris.
So
Tetris
all of us
Party.
played Dr. Mario. Like at different times. My roommate Mark played it more than anyone else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Tetris Party one was supposed to be good too. It was like sort of in the same vein as that. But I heard the online mode was really good. I thought about there's not really a point for me to get it now because there's no internet for the Wii. But that would be a cool. I mean, that one I think is probably pretty high to get re-released. Probably high on the list because it's a Nintendo property. They could easily, or they could just do another Dr. Mario thing, I guess. But from what I heard, the Dr. Luigi one that came out, I don't know if I ended up getting it when it was on sale during the year of Luigi and all that. But it didn't have as many options as the Wiiware one.
It doesn't have the online mode, does it?
I think it does, but it's like more bare bones. But it doesn't. But everything I read was that it was no way as good as the Wiiware one. Like the Wiiware one was praised pretty well and got high reviews from most people. So it looks like a fun one. I think I was about to get it, but again, it was one of those things like managing the fridge stuff, where it was just too much. I just didn't have enough to download it, so I ended up getting Cruis'n USA instead because it was a lot less. Because it was only like 50 notes, and Dr. Mario was like 200 notes or something like that, like something ridiculous. So as I remember, that was my deciding decision on that, I think. But I wish I would have got it because it looked fun. I mean, if you like Dr. Mario, and I'm sure, I hope they'll do some more. Maybe they'll do like the year of the Doctor, and they'll just do all Dr. Mario games. Probably not, but it'd be nice to see them do a year of something again on Nintendo. That year of Luigi was so like here and gone, just passed us by.
I'm sure we'll get a Dr. Mario game at some point. I just don't know if it'll be a re-release of this Wii version.
When? I mean, it could always be like a re-release of the NES remix too.
Do you remember the Tetris that came out for DS?
Tetris DS?
Yeah, the Tetris DS.
Yeah,
that was a great game.
That game was great.
That had online mode.
Yeah, the one that had all the Nintendo stuff on it.
Yep.
Yeah, there was like a Metroid themed one. There was like a Donkey Kong themed one.
Man, that was such a cool game.
There's like Super Mario. I still have it. It had a really good soundtrack too. Like the songs, the remixes on there were really good.
Probably could never put it on the eShop because of their whole Tetris stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Tetris name now, because wasn't it like there was like a whole thing, like I know they can't sell the Tetris, the Game Boy, the straight up Game Boy Tetris anymore. Even though I have it, I downloaded it like way back before they stopped putting it online. But when it showed up on Puyo Tetris, I was wondering, I don't know, like on the case for Puyo Tetris, it says like official trademark Zelda official trademark Tetris like in the corner. Which is
who published Puyo? Is that a Sega game?
That's Sega, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because Puyo's a Sega property.
Has Tetris.
Or they went through whatever hoops they had to get the property of Tetris.
Yeah.
But except the Tetris Party was still available on Wiiware, which I thought was funny, which was weird. So maybe whatever they had before, they fixed it, and now you can do it. Because when I was looking at it today, you could buy the version, the version that's like the Dr. Mario Online. They have the Tetris Party one, which was also supposedly really good on Wiiware, which I didn't get to play it, but I put it on the list to talk about anyway, of Wiiware stuff.
Yeah, I've got it on my list too.
Yeah. And I also put we already talked about it in a previous episode. We talked about it in our Excite Bike episode. But I just wanted to mention that Excite Bike World Rally would still be a great game to bring over to the Switch. The 2D one that we talked about during our Excite Bot episode. We mentioned that game. And it's pretty fun, and it'd be nice to see that one come around again. I don't feel like those guys got enough for it, because I feel like it came out towards the end of the Wii. So by the time it came around, people weren't as interested in it. So that one could be due for a re-release. Put that back on. So. Since I don't know what they're trying to do with Virtual Console right now, but they could incorporate WiiWare into that somehow. Even though they didn't there was one that we talked about, I forget what name it was. There was one that came out on Wii U that I thought was just a WiiWare one, but it did have a physical release. Hopefully we'll find out something about Virtual Console eventually, and maybe they would, I don't know, maybe they would want to do some Wii stuff, maybe they don't. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of these, like I said, that don't have pointer control, they don't really have to worry about. They could easily do, especially like this Dr. Mario or the Tetris. And the Excite Bike one, you could do it, even though there is a version where you could tilt it, but you don't have to do the tilt.
Well, there's tilt sensors in.
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, you could do it. You could easily do it. Yeah, you're right. There's tilt sensors in the Joy-Cons, so totally do it.
Yeah, that's ubiquitous in all controllers for the most part now.
For sure.
Motion controls.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah. Thanks or no thanks. Depend on how you look at it. Some people are like, well, fuck motion controls. Fuck those
puzzles
shit.
And the shrines, they're great.
Does that work any better for the Switch than the Wii U?
I haven't run into any that have been difficult so far.
Oh, they were just kind of a pain.
There was one that was kind of annoying where I had to put like 3 balls into like cups or something like that, or like I can't remember. Did you play that one where there's 3 like balls rolling around and you got to get them all into a little? It's like an old metal ball puzzle. Oh, I mean,
I played one that was like that. That was like a metal ball puzzle, but it was just one ball. But It was like a maze, and I don't know. Jess ended up beating it because I lost patience with it.
Someone on Reddit recently was saying that you could it was either on Reddit or on the Nintendo Voice Chat Facebook group, but that you could just use one of the Joy-Cons for that part. Just detach it from whatever and just use that as your tilt control.
Oh, maybe you can.
Which supposedly makes it a lot easier. But that doesn't help you out. Doesn't help you out at all.
No, because I don't play it on the Switch, so I don't even know. Speaking of Zelda, though, it's not actually a WiiWare game, but it would be nice to see Four Swords come back in some way. I know it was a free download for 3DS, so that was pretty cool, but I think
for a second, yeah.
It was free, but yeah, you could only play it local, like you could only play it with other people who had 3DSs. But they sort of brought it back for Triforce Heroes, but I'd like them to try to bring something like that back again for online. Because I really enjoyed Triforce Heroes while there were people on there, and now there's really not anybody on there. But they need to bring out some more co-op online stuff, and it'd be cool if they did some like 16-bit, top-down Zelda stuff. Four Swords for sure.
Well, the last one I have written down here is Moto Heroes, which briefly mentioned for a second there.
Yeah, I didn't play that one.
No, I know you didn't have a 360. Now, I don't know if this did a game called Trials come out for the PlayStation? Did you play a game called Trials? It was like
I've heard of it. Yeah, it's
side-scrolling bicycle game or like motorbike game, dirt bike game.
I've heard of it, But I heard about it, but I never played it. But yeah, I think it was on PS3.
Well, so the company was debating whether or not they wanted to bring, they're called Red Links, if they wanted to bring that game to the Wii. They decided they wanted to just make an original game. So it's the same developer, and it's kind of the same premise, but instead of a motorcycle, you're like a little monster truck.
Oh, okay.
And it's a lot more like whimsical, it's cartoony. I think you're actually like a living, kind of like Cars, maybe?
You have a face and eyes? Like that?
Maybe not. You know what? No, that's not the case. You're a little dude driving a truck. But
Sure.
The levels are really cool because it's zoomed out more. And you're actually going through like loop-the-loops and the track's kind of changing as you go. But it's straight up side-scroller. The one-player mode, you're racing a ghost. That's just how it works. You just have to beat the ghost to the goal. And the goal is like a floating ball that you have to just make contact with. And then like confetti pops out when you do. But there's all kinds of different things. You know, there's like elevators. There's like some power-ups that'll like make you go faster. And really, you're just trying to get from the beginning to the end as quick as you can. But it's also kind of fun as you go because it's got like those physics that were in the Trials game.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more bouncy because you're just like a little toy monster truck bouncing around.
And it's all like racing type stuff, but it's like 2D, right? Isn't it
Yeah,
like
a lot of the
thing?
levels
Yeah.
you're racing a ghost, but then there'll be some levels where you're racing other cars too, so you're like kind of bumping into them, and it's just even more chaotic. Then there's levels where I think there's levels where it's just like a time trial kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering if it was like Blaster Master, like a 2D car platforming type stuff. But it's more like racing, of course. Like
it's a straight
trials.
up side-scrolling racing game.
Oh, cool.
You know, from a profile view of the car.
Yeah.
You're just going through like loop-the-loops and over ramps, and it's fun.
Nice. Yeah.
I think it's I don't know what I paid for it, but you know, I remember like this is the game I bought. It was one of the last games that came out for the Wii for the download service.
Oh, okay.
There's like gnomes and some other stuff that came out after that, but.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember what was at the end of it. Like I said, I know like
it was a lot of stuff that was showing up on all the other systems too. It was the indie stuff really.
Yeah.
But this was like this was only released on the Wii, so I really would love this to come to something else because it's a fun game and it would be really nice as a portable title. Maybe they could add a 2-player mode because it's only a 1-player game.
And
but if they added a 2-player mode, that'd be great too.
Was there motion in it at all? Or was it all just
No, you use the so you just accelerate and then I think brake/reverse are the other button. And then you're just kind of like using the D-pad to hold your nose down against the ground as you move.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So like you're kind of like whatever way that translates in game that one tire's rotating less than the other or something, but
Oh, okay.
You're just trying to keep all 4 of your tires in contact with the ground as much as possible.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you're kind of like rotating your whole truck around as you like go over loop to loop. You'll like adjust the truck, sort of like Excite Bike.
Yeah.
Where you like adjust it to where it'll land correctly, but this lets you
and then you
flip
get
all the way
boost for it.
around 360 degrees. So
Sure. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do something
make contact
with
with the track in different ways.
Yeah, that'd be. I'd like to. Yeah, I hope they re-release it because it's kind of hard to buy stuff on Wiiware because you can't do like where you can buy it to the exact amount. So you have to buy by like tens. So I'd have to. I don't know how much it's selling for now, but even if it was $9.99, I'd have to put like 20 in there to get the
I
the
think
extra
this might have been a
tax or whatever.
game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It was kind of expensive, and I once again thought about it a lot before I finally bought it, and I was happy afterwards because I put a lot of time into it. I never actually beat the game, but I've probably played several hours.
Sure.
It's addictive once you get going. You could like quickly restart the level. Like it's one of those games where you can like instantly restart if you mess up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
that's
it's
definitely good.
super addictive because you're just like, wait, no, if I don't mess that up, I messed it up, and you just keep like going over and over and over and over until you do it right.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd like to play that on if they did it again. I'm wondering. I don't know where the developers are or what they're doing now, but you never know. Like I said,
Yeah, I don't either.
I feel like so many people jumped on the Wii like for that because it was popular that I can see it happening again for this the future of the Switch. So.
I definitely liked Trials. Was another reason I ended up buying this because I played a lot of Trials HD with my friend Dan. He had it on his Xbox.
Oh, okay.
And we used to play the heck out of that whenever I'd go hang out with him. And there was a bunch of different game modes in it and stuff, and we'd like try to beat each other's records. So it was fun. So yeah, obviously this game being kind of a logical extension of that, but a more cartoony, fun version, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to ask you, did you play ever, I'm sure you did, I'm sure I showed them to you. Did you ever play any of the Game Boy Advance, like, art style games? Do you remember those?
Yeah, you did show one to me.
Well, they only released in Japan originally. They were supposed to be, like, super simplified games. Like, my favorite one was Orbiant. That was the one with the moons.
Yep, that's the one.
Where you had a planet and you would go into, you'd go in the orbit of other planets and you'd pick up, pick up stars and, your planet would get bigger and you would consume other planets. That game was really cool. But they made a bunch of them. There were ones, they re-released the Game Boy Advance ones. But then they made new 3D ones for Wiiware, I think Cubello was a 3D one, and there's Rotohex and some other, and there were some on DS. They also went into DSiWare also after that. They made some more of those. But I'd really like to see those games come back. I thought they were really cool. They had the racing game that was just a line. You're just a big line of color racing against other lines of color. It's called Light Tracks or something like that. I'd like to see those games come back, especially Orbiant, because Orbiant had such a cool soundtrack, and the music would change depending on how many planets you had in your orbit and all that, and it was fun. I had a lot of fun with that game, and it'd be really fun. And it was that game only used 2 buttons. Most of them only use 2 buttons, so you can make it really easy to play with a Joy-Con. It'd be a cool thing to download. And I'm wondering I hope they haven't completely given up on those. And they didn't really release any of them for Wii U, I don't think. There might have been one, at the beginning, but it'd be nice to see something like that come around again. Because like I said, those are a lot of fun, and it'd be fun to play them on the go, and have a better HD version. I know they're doing a Bit Trip Runner, they're doing Bit Trip Runner 3, but I'd like to see some of those games come back too. Bit Trip Beat and Bit Trip Void and all those different ones that came out for Wii. Especially Bit. Bit was really fun. I don't know if you played that one. The one that's
Which one was the one where it was a shooter?
I don't know. The one that I played the most was Bit Trip Beat, and that was the one that it was Pong. It was a rhythm Pong.
Oh yeah. And it would increase in speed and intensity. The music would change.
Yeah, that game was really fun, and there were different Pong balls that would react differently. But you would play it you would rotate it back and forth it was a dial, and it was playing a super advanced version of Pong with and it made a different note every time the ball hit the paddle. And that game was so genius. There was only 4 songs on it, and there was a sequel to that too. I forget, there was one that came out later that was like that. But you could buy those on 3DS actually. They did where they re-released all of the Wiiware ones on 3DS, and I bought them, but it wasn't quite the same because I couldn't tilt the system I could tilt the Wiimote, and I thought that was the most accurate way to play the game, So, but you could play. I guess you could use a stylus that was a little bit more accurate, but it wasn't as fun as tilting it like it was a dial. But yeah, that's a game I think that might come around. If they're doing another runner, then maybe they'll release some of the old ones again. I don't know how well it sold on 3DS, but they did a 3D version of it. Maybe they'll do a Switch version. Who knows? There were a couple weird ones that I put on there just because I wanted to mention them regardless. I mentioned Max and the Magic Marker and Nick's Quest briefly earlier. They're basically Nick's Quest is basically a 2D. It's like a 2D, a Greek mythology type thing. It's you're Nyx and you're trying to rescue Icarus and all this, and you have wings. You fly around, go from point A to point B, but use the remote to move different stuff in the background to get from one area to another. That one was really fun. And Match and the Magic Marker is similar to that, where you use the marker to create pathways and stuff. But two weird ones that probably won't come out, but I thought were really worth mentioning anyway. Did you ever hear of a game called Ghost Slayer? It used the Motion Plus for it. It's basically a sword fighting game sort of. It's an arcade setup. You basically you have a sword. It's first person. It's 1-to-1 motion. It uses the Wii Motion Plus, and you basically go through and fight ghosts with it. It's kind of fun. I bought it just because of how unique it was. And you just go around 1-to-1 motion, just kind of like how you would fight people in Skyward Sword, but a whole game like that. But not as bad as Jirahim, But the Moblins, how they would hold their swords either vertical or horizontal, and you had to cut in that way. That's kind of how it is. And it's an on rails arcade type thing, and you just have to try to get through these ghosts, and some of them have swords, and sometimes, and you have a block button too, and you can get power ups where you can use we can do a harder swipe that'll automatically kill everybody. But it was just a fun, interesting game that they made like that. It's fully Wii Motion Plus. fully like 1-to-1 sword movement, you know, and it was cool. It's a cool WiiWare game. I think that one was towards the end, obviously, because it had a Wii Motion Plus thing. But I remember getting in and it had like 10 levels. I think I played through like half of it, like because it gets pretty hard. And there were these like wraiths that were hard to beat, which I think I just figured out today how to beat. But that was a cool one. I don't know if you'd see that on the Switch. I mean, maybe because the Joy-Cons work just as well as the Wii Motion Plus do, but I don't know. It seemed like that one was so specific. But you never know. You know, people are we're hurting for money. They might do it. There was a game called LIT that Way Forward did. That was the company I couldn't remember their name of from last week. They're the ones that remade the guys who did like Contra 4 and
okay.
Yeah, I was talking about a game that they did. Oh, we're talking about DuckTales. Way Forward was the one that did the remake of DuckTales. And they do a lot of remakes of retro stuff or whatever. They made an LIT game that I guess was okay. That was on there. But I couldn't get that one to download, so I didn't get to play it. But the other game in there that I have to mention, it's like super weird game. I don't think it got reviewed that well. This game called Onslaught. It was made by Hudson Soft, but it's like a full on first person shooter, which was downloadable. I mean, it must have been like $50 or $20 or something like that. But you collect you had like 5 or 6 different weapons that you could use, and you could only carry 4 at a time. Like they were all on the different control pad, whichever you pushed would be whatever weapon you had. But you would go around and you kill these bugs, like shoot these big bugs, and there were different colored weapons that shot that were more powerful than the other ones. And you had like a couple teammates with you, and you could like decide like which way they would face or whatever to fight the thing. But it was like a full-blown, like, first-person shooter game that was downloadable, and I was just so impressed that a game like that was a WiiWare game, you know. And it looked decent for what it was, you know. It wasn't like the best game I've ever seen, but it looked nice, you know. It looked like a pretty toned-down first-person shooter, you know. It wasn't super complicated on the textures and all that, but it went very smoothly. And like practically every time you killed somebody, it'd say like, "That's why you're still a kid." I was saying earlier, which is like the weirdest. Doesn't make any sense, like that line. But yeah, it was a weird game, and it was kind of one of those things I just had to buy it because of how bizarre it was. But yeah, it was like a first person version of like of the bug game from 64, the one where you go around and body harvest. It's kind of like that. So you just go around and kill bugs. But yeah, it was a cool game. And I don't think we'll ever see that on Switch. But that was like just one of those bizarre things out of nowhere that you would only see for something like the Wii. But I don't know. But I think that's most of our list. I mean, I think I'm good on that. Is there anything?
There are a lot of games like you were saying about the we were talking about the Mega Man games, but there was like there's a Bubble Bobble remake.
Oh, was there? Oh, yeah, there was also...
I just saw that when I was going through the list here just a second ago, and I remember I did play that
one
relatively often because it had 2-player mode on it and everything. And it was a remake of the original Bubble Bobble, but it had extra stuff on it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I don't remember seeing that, but there was a Blaster Master on there, too. Blaster Master Overdrive, which you're already kind of seeing that with Blaster Master Zero. So I don't know if it's the same company or not, but they did a similar thing. They made a sequel to it. But yeah, I'm sure the Bubble Bobble one, did it have like 100 levels in it?
This was made by Taito, so the original, Square Enix and Taito, the original publisher.
Cool. Did it have like 100 levels in it like the original one?
Yep.
Nice.
And then 100 new stages.
Oh yeah, I think I vaguely remember that being on there.
Difficult, like super difficult versions of stages.
Oh yeah.
There's actually 2 DLCs for it.
Oh shit. So apparently it did well enough to... I don't know if that was on the Wii,
if maybe the DLC was only available on the other systems, because it also came out for Xbox.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, like, I don't know if any of the WiiWares had DLC, except for that Final Fantasy game did. It had, like, microtransactions. The My Life as a King, which I never played that game. But,
I never played that either.
But apparently it was okay. Well, and then there was the sequel to it. There was My Life as a Dark Lord, where they made the evil side of it.
But there was, like, a Castlevania reboot, and there was, which you may have mentioned, and the Contra reboot.
Oh yeah. There was a Contra sequel and there was a Castlevania Rebirth. Yeah, I think those were like the same company. But yeah, it was cool that they added all this stuff to it. Like I remember I played through Contra all the way. I think I probably played through all the Castlevania one. It wasn't like what you like the Castlevanias that you expect. It's not like Symphony of the Night or like Dawn of Sorrow or anything like that. It was more like old school Castlevania, more like Castlevania 1. But it was all right. I think it was like supposed to be a remake of like the Game Boy version or something like that. It was like the Castlevania Adventure.
Oh, okay.
Something like that is what I heard. I don't know, but it was fun. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought it looked pretty good. But yeah, all this stuff could come to Switch, and it'd be nice if it did. But do you have anything else do you want to talk about?
No, I don't really have anything on here that I'd like to add. I think I talked about all the ones I had listed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we're good to call it, right? We're probably at like 2 hours about.
Yeah.
We'll probably end up being
next
an
week.
hour and a half.
We'll have some new games to talk about. Hopefully, either Has Been Heroes or what was the other one?
Snake Pass.
Snake Pass.
It's I don't know, people are talking about it on the NVC group, so it seems to be, it's like a puzzly type thing, I guess.
Okay. You're
like a snake and you go and you're hiding from people or something. I don't know. It looks good. Like the graphics look nice. It's like fully 3D and all that. So I'll be interested to see like what people say about them. I don't know. I didn't get to, we played Has Been Heroes like very briefly at the preview event, but I didn't really get a chance to really figure out what it was. It was kind of more like, okay, do this. Okay, now do this. And now do this. I'm like, okay, I don't understand any of this game.
Yeah, it's a very unique looking game, but
because you keep telling
me
what to do.
Maybe it'll turn out to be great.
Yeah, so you keep telling me what to do, so I don't know what's going on here. But I don't know. I mean, it's and I may just like say fuck Has Been Heroes and just drop the $60 for Disgaea 5 and try to get an import version of that, which is really tempting. Like, because it's like a full game and it's fully in English, and you can get it like way early. And not like waiting till the end of May seems like a long time. So I might keep looking around and see if I can find a good version of that, or maybe I'll try to get a fucking yen card or something, a yen eShop card. See if I can do it that way, and then just download it.
Yeah, I wonder how that even works.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. Like, you can do that too if you don't want a physical version. Just try to get it on offline. But yeah, we'll talk to you about that next week, and we'll talk about the Global Test Fire, of course, which is happening probably as we speak. Whenever you hear this, whenever it gets out, probably out tomorrow. But yeah, we'll get to talk about our impressions of Splatoon 2. So lots of good stuff. Stay tuned for episode 63 then. We've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
And I'm Jeremy Mikowski.
And this has been episode 62. Check out our website, NintenDomainPodcast.com. Send us an email, NintenDomainPodcast@gmail.com. And, give us a rating on iTunes and download it and tell your friends if you like it and all that. And, thanks for listening to the show. We'll bring you some more Nintendo goodies next week. Hopefully there'll be some more eShop stuff, aside from the two that we already talked about, the Has Been Heroes and Snake Pass. But until then, keep switching.
Keep on switching.
Keep on switching in the real world. Keep on switching in the real world. Is that how that song goes? I don't even know.
Keep on switching in the real world.